Did you realize that 95% of the oceans on the planet have never been explored? That gives our imaginations plenty of room to imagine what lurks below the ocean surface. Are you curious about what strange creatures are swimming around in the water? Well, then keep on watching, because in this video, we're going to show you the 10 weirdest sea creatures in the world. Make sure to watch till the end, because number 1 is gotta be the most bizarre creature you've ever seen. You don't want to encounter this one when you take a dip at the sea during your holiday. Do you like to travel? Are you curious about everything the world has to offer? Well, then make sure you subscribe to our channel and leave this video a like if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to tap on that bell icon and turn on notifications. Without further ado, let's get started. Number 10. Blood red jellyfish. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the NOAA researchers, reported finding a brand new, unnamed species of blood red jellyfish in August of 2021. On July 28th of 2021, they used a remotely operated vehicle, or an ROV, to discover the new jelly just off of Newport, Rhode Island coast, at a depth of around 2,300 feet. On the dive, divers also saw other mammals, such as cnidarians, jellyfish and corals, ctenophores, comb jellies, crabs, and acetinoterygii, or ray-finned fishes. According to researchers, the jelly we're talking about has a blood-red body and resembles a floating beret adorned with delicate tassels. The researchers believe that the dark red jelly is most likely a member of the genus Porelia refuscens, which has a bell-shaped body with 30 tentacles and lives in deep water throughout the world's seas. There's only one other Porelia species that have been described thus far. Number 9. Barrel-eye fish. The enigma of a fish with tubular eyes and a translucent head, which has baffled scientists for 50 years, was recently explained by researchers at the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute. Marine researchers have known that the barrel-eye fish, aka Macropinna microstramas, tubular eyes, are excellent at collecting light since they were initially reported in 1939. The two dark spots above the fish's mouth were originally mistaken for eyes. They're actually olfactory organs that are equivalent to nostrils. Barrel eyes have small pointed mouths that have to be precisely directed towards their prey. This is one of the reasons why its eyes are capable of rotating forwards, so that it can plan coordinated strikes. The mysterious species was captured on camera by an ROV as it traveled through the Monterey Submerged Canyon, which is one of the deepest submarine canyons on the Pacific coast, at a depth of roughly 2,132 feet. Despite having made more than 5,600 dives in the fish's habitat, MBARI researchers have only seen the species 9 times before. Number 8. Glass octopus. The glass octopus is a highly uncommon mollusk in tropical and subtropical waters. The species name refers to how virtually transparent its body is. Its optic nerve, eyes, and digestive tract are visible through it, like other glass species, like glass frogs and specific comb jellies. The glass octopus is roughly the size of a bowling pin. This is 45 centimeters or 1.5 feet, and it's got 8 arms. It's a pretty small octopus when compared to other cephalopods that live in the deep like the colossal squid, which can have the size of a school bus. Marine biologists believe that the glass octopus evolved to be nearly transparent to hide from predators to the best of its abilities. No light from the sun reaches the depths at which the glass octopus resides. Below 3,000 feet, this, in tandem with their unique glass-like bodies, help the octopuses evade predators. The yellow dots that are visible on the animal are pigment cells, which allows the animal to camouflage itself if necessary. Number 7. Leafy sea dragon. The leafy sea dragon gets its name from its ragged projections all over its body that resemble pieces of coral or seaweed that serve as camouflage. Because they swim so slowly, they mainly float with the current. They look like seaweed floating by, and they can even change color. They also have a small dorsal fin and 2 fins just behind their gills that they use for steering. And they have long spines in their bodies for defense. As an additional barrier to predators, sea dragons don't have scales but hardened plates. A sea dragon has a long, pointed mouth without teeth. That's remarkable because in addition to plankton, they can eat shrimp and small fish. They can suck them in. They can grow up to 1 foot long, which is relatively long compared to the size of the species that are closely related to them. Sea dragons live exclusively in the marine area around Australia. They can be found roughly along the coast between Adelaide and Perth. They live amongst rocky reefs, sand patches, which are close to reefs, seaweed beds, as well as seagrass meadows. Populations might fluctuate seasonally in response to food availability and spawning season. Leafy sea dragons can be found from the surface to depths of 98 feet. Similar to seahorses and pipefishes, the males carry around fertilized eggs, but without a special pouch, the leafy sea dragon carries the eggs beneath its tail. Number 6. Giant phantom jellyfish. MBARI revealed a rare video of a massive phantom jellyfish, aka that long name that's on the screen right now. In November 2021, they did this. The enormous jelly, which has a bell that's 3.3 feet in diameter and limbs that are 33 feet long, was discovered by scientists using an ROV in Monterey Bay, California at a depth of 3,200 feet. This species has rarely been spotted by scientists, but like 100 times since 1899. The jelly has been spotted in the depths of the world's primary oceans, except for the Arctic Ocean, although it's still rarely seen. Although little is known about phantom jellyfish, researchers believe that it traps its unfortunate prey with the help of its limbs, which trail after it like loose scarves. The creature also uses periodic pulses from its dimly illuminated bell to move across the deep, dark waters. Number 5. Blobfish. It's the fish that the internet adores the most. A deep-sea charmer with a face that only Mother Earth could love. But despite being a vast, lethargic bottom feeder and a relatively recent scientific discovery, the blobfish has still managed to enchant people, inspiring them to create memes, plush toys, and emojis. The name of it needs to be clarified initially, along with the more prominent fish family known as that long name that's also on the screen right now. Various species are referred to as blobfish, but for most of us, the blobfish is a specific species known as, alright, here we go, Cycrolutes microporus, whose first specimen was discovered in 1983 by a research vessel off the coast of New Zealand. Despite the uncertainties, the blobfish became well known after a different species was captured on camera in 2003. Its gelatinous look made it a gift to the early internet culture. The specimen was known as Mr. Blobby, and it was eventually named the world's most ugly animal in a survey conducted by the Ugly Animal Preservation Society, a conservation organization that contends that all animals, not just the cute ones, should be protected. But here's the thing. The blobfish is only actually ugly when it's brought up to the surface. The blobfish is a pretty incredible sea dweller, surviving at depths of more than 4,000 feet. The fish have adapted since the pressure down there can get more than 100 times greater than the air pressure that you're currently experiencing. Its body is soft, and it has weak muscles and fragile bones. Decompression can cause a blobfish to grow, and cause its skin to relax when captured in nets and brought to the surface, distorting its characteristics and giving it that distinctive colossal nose. And because its gelatinous tissue can't support its structure on land or a boat's deck, it collapses into a formless mass that only resembles a washed-up jellyfish. So technically, we only think of blobfish as ugly when they're, well, dead. Number 4. Goblin shark. The goblin shark is a rare, poorly known species of the deep sea shark. It is the only living species of the family Mitsucarindae, a descendant about 125 million years old. It is a very different species from most sharks. It has a long, prominent snout that is covered in specific detecting organs, ampullae of Lorenzini, that allow it to detect electric fields in the deep, dark water where it lives. This shark has the ability to thrust its whole jaw outward to capture prey. The animal is about 12 feet long, but can grow considerably larger. The heaviest goblin shark found weighed 460 pounds. The goblin shark is a bottom-dwelling shark found in waters as deep as 4,265 feet, and it's been found in the Atlantic and Indian Oceans. The species has been living almost unchanged for years, and that's why it's often seen as a living fossil. Fewer than 50 goblin sharks have been spotted since 1898, so if you're hoping to see one, chances are slim. Number 3. Dumbo octopus. Nicknamed Emperor Dumbo, this adorable creature was discovered in 2016. You're probably familiar with the famous cartoon Dumbo, about an elephant with huge floppy ears. Well, the Dumbo octopus gets its name from this famous cartoon character. The animals have remarkably large ears that even look like wings. The Dumbo octopus uses its ears not to fly, but to swim, and they're large enough to allow the animal to glide through the water. Most Dumbo octopuses are relatively small, with an average length of around 12 inches. Yet there are exceptions. Some species can reach a length of no less than 49 feet. In fact, the largest Dumbo octopus ever caught was nearly 59 feet in length. This animal also had an impressive weight of almost 13 pounds. Not only the ears of the Dumbo octopus are impressive, but also their eyes are very huge. Despite the size of their eyes, the animal can't see very well. That's not necessary because in the deep sea it's pretty dark, and the animals find their way mostly by feeling, for example with their tentacles. The current of the water is also a good guideline for the animals so that they always know where they are. These animals come in all kinds of different colors, from white to red to brown. Like many other types of octopuses, they can easily adjust their color. They might choose to modify the outer layer of the skin, making it blend in better with the environment. Which is great because the way the Dumbo octopus can easily hide from its enemies is by doing that. Dumbo octopuses live in the deep ocean, down to the depths of at least 13,100 feet, and perhaps much deeper, making this group the deepest living of all known octopuses. Life at these extreme depths requires the ability to survive in very cold water, and in the complete absence of sunlight. Number 2, the blue glaucus. The fabled blue glaucus, or Glaucus atlanticus, as it's known scientifically, is a small-sized species of blue sea slug which occurs in South Africa, Australia, and also in European waters. It usually doesn't grow larger than 6 centimeters. Its recognizable, brilliant blue tones have attracted much attention in recent years. Several nicknames have been created for these slugs, including the blue dragon, sea swallow, and blue angel. The blue dragon was first discovered by a scientist named Forster? Over 242 years ago, in 1777. Even though they live on the open ocean, they sometimes accidentally wash up on the shore, and therefore they might be found on beaches. The little snail hangs with its colorful underside on the water surface thanks to the surface tension of the water in the open sea. The back, on the other hand, is silver in color, so it's not to be recognized from the water. Although you like to see such a beauty of a beast as close as you can, it's really best not to touch it. The animal itself isn't poisonous, but when consuming cnidarians, the blue dragon ingests its victim's poison to use as its own protection. Number 1. Anglerfish. There are more than 200 species of anglerfish, most of which live in the murky depths of the Atlantic and Antarctic Oceans up to a mile below the surface, although some live in shallow tropical environments. They are generally dark gray to dark brown in color and have huge heads and enormous crescent-shaped mouths filled with sharp, translucent teeth. Some anglerfish can be quite large, reaching 3.3 feet in length. Most, however, are significantly smaller, often less than a foot. Their most distinctive feature, worn only by females, is a piece of dorsal spine that protrudes above their mouths like a fishing pole, hence their name. At the end of the rod is a sac of bioluminescent bacteria that glows brightly in the dark. The light attracts prey towards the anglerfish's waiting mouth, acting like the anglerfish's own meal delivery service. Their mouths are so big and their bodies are so pliable that they can swallow prey up to twice their own size. So there's no better place to look for strange organisms that defy any explanations than the deep sea. What are your thoughts on all these weird, wacko sea creatures? Share them with us in the comment section below. And give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon for more videos like this. Got a lot of content coming your way, so stay tuned. See you in the next one. Ka-chow!